Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this special meeting of the LA City Board of Public Works for Friday, October 9th, 2020. Dr. Campos, good morning or afternoon.
Good afternoon, President Good. Fernando Campos, Executive Officer, establishing roll call and quorum for today. We have President Good joining us. We have Vice President Garcia. We have President Pro Tem Davis, and also Commissioners Caloza and Villegas are joining us. President Good, you do have a quorum at this time. For the record, President Pro Tem Davis, Vice President Garcia, Commissioner Caloza, and President Good are dialing in remotely from their City Hall offices. I am also dialing in remotely from my City Hall office as well. We are also joined today by our General Counsel, Mr. Ted Jordan, who is dialing in remotely. President Good, again, you do have a quorum. We do not have any comments under public comments. We also do not have any commentary under the Neighborhood Council comments section. No other speakers are in the queue for today's special agenda as well.
Okay, so hearing no commentary from the Neighborhood Council, let's go ahead and move on to item number one. Item number one is approval of the minutes for Tuesday, September 29th, 2020. Do I have a motion to approve?
I move.
Thank you, Vice President Garcia. Got a second from Commissioner President Pro Tem Davis?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Any objections, Commissioner Caloza?
No objections, thank you.
Any objections, Commissioner Villegas?
No objections.
Okay. Hold on a second. Okay. So, hearing no objections, item number one, the minutes from September 29th, Tuesday, September 29th, are approved forthwith. Okay, let's move on to item number two. Item number two is in Council District 2, and this is the relinquishment of rights, future alley in Lot 22, tract 11-466-6151 Colfax Avenue. Recommending the board, one, execute the attached document relinquishing any and all rights to the City of Los Angeles for public alley purposes within the future alley shown on the attached Exhibit A, subject to the following condition. Petitioner shall make satisfactory arrangements with the Real Estate Division of the Bureau of Engineering, 1149 South Broadway, 6th floor, Los Angeles, California, 90015, with respect to payment of document recording fees. Two, request the city clerk to attest the signatures of the board's commissioners. And three, instruct the that is the Real Estate Division of the Bureau of Engineering, to record the executed document in the office of the county recorder when the condition in recommendation one, number one, has been satisfied. Bert Mokelbest is with us from BOE. I would love a little more meat on these bones, Bert.
Absolutely. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Bert Mokelbest. I'm with the Bureau of Engineering's Permit Case Management Division. So the request in front of the board is a request to relinquish future rights to the future alley in Lot 22, which is known as 6151 Colfax Avenue. And that future alley was recorded under tract 11466. So to give a little history on that, as I said, the future alley was set aside under tract map 11466, which recorded on January 27th, 1938. The acceptance of that future alley was not endorsed as part of the map. That property was sold to third parties, has never been improved or used as an alley. And Council District 2 has been notified and had no objections to the, my condolences. Is the video working? So, Council District 2 has been notified and have no objections. 25 years has lapsed since the map recorded, and there therefore, we're asking that the board sign the documents to relinquish any city rights to the use of that future alley. Briefly, to give a little history, future alleys are recorded as part of maps, okay? They're recorded as futures and not dedicated at full right-of-way at that particular point in time because they may not deem to be needed at that particular point in time. They're typically reserved for the first 25 years. After 25 years, if it's deemed it's no longer needed, the city does not have any real rights to accept and use those future alleys or future streets. So this is a mechanism in which the applicant is asking to have the future alley removed from his title.
Are you still there, Brett?
I'm here. Do you hear me?
Yeah. Robert. Okay. All right. Colleagues, questions? Vice President Garcia?
I have no questions. Thank you, President Good.
Okay, thank you. President Pro Tem Davis?
Yeah, just to be clear, by the action implemented to remove the alley from our docket, it then clears the way for that property to be attached to his existing lot. Is that correct?
The property is attached to his lot, so what we have is a easement of a future alley across that. In fact, it was recorded in 1938. It was like a reservation. He still had use of it, but he needed the Board of Public Works to consent to do anything. And since we determined that we have no need for that alley, we're asking that to be removed from the title to make it easier for him to clean it up.
Great. Thank you.
So the lot was, and I'm assuming, is this true with all these lots?
I'm sorry. Well, as part of that particular tract, there were future streets and future alleys recorded on some of the lots because they thought at one point in time there would be a need for an alley to go through. And then since then, the city may have provided in a manner that it isn't for alley, so the city never accepted the future.
So after 25 years, it becomes a de facto, what's the significance of the 25-year, I mean, why didn't this just go, let me go to my colleagues first. I'm just more curious than anything. Commissioner Caloza, do you have any questions?
I don't have any questions on this item.
Okay.
A few of them from birds, but I got a question.
Thank you. Commissioner Villegas, any questions?
Yeah, just a point of clarification. When we relinquish the alley, who does it go to?
When we relinquish the future alley, it reverts back to the underlying fee title owner of that particular lot. So in your map, you will see that there's a future alley sitting on the back. It goes back to that particular property owner. So it's a layer on his property, if you will.
Okay, and so that will be submitted to the tax assessor?
No, it goes to the county recorder.
Do you know?
I believe it goes to the county recorder because it's a future alley. He's had use of it with severe limitation.
Okay, and once it's recorded, then it'll go to the tax assessor? I'm just wondering.
That I do not know.
Will this be augmenting one's property, and will that impact the cost for property taxes?
So future alleys typically do not.
Sorry, Ted, for the question. I know it's outside of our purview.
No, it's a fair question. I can tell you, I don't know the answer, but if I understood Bert correctly, this was a request made by the property owner? Mm-hmm. Is that right?
Council district.
It's made by the property owner.
Yeah, so if the property owner gets taxed, if their taxes change, if they don't change, that's really an issue for the property owner. We're simply granting their request. And from what Bert said, I'm going to speculate a little bit here. It sounds like after 25 years, our legal ability to accept this future alley and build an alley there, that may have already run anyway. But I think without question, this clears a little bit of potential ambiguity on the title of the property in that back area by essentially erasing the future alley line.
Correct. Okay.
So-
Thanks for that. I have no more questions.
Okay.
It was a good question.
Thank you, Commissioner. So in essence, the city maintained the right to a future alley, basically on this property. That in effect easement or whatever, right to a future alley, basically ran its course in 1973, but the property owner was probably in a position of having to still get some sort of approval from the city before doing different improvements or whatever, and this didn't actually count in their property assessment. So then this movement, we are relinquishing that easement, and so it's now theirs, being free and clear in the fee title.
That would be correct, yes.
All right, interesting. All right, do I have a motion with this board?
So move.
I'll second that.
Everybody's excited about this one. So I got a motion for President Davis. I'm sorry, Bart, this is just interesting. Ted and I spent like 20 minutes on this. So I've got a motion from President Pro Tem Davis, seconds from Commissioner Villegas and Vice President Garcia. I think Commissioner Closa wants to give thirds if we don't do that. So Commissioner Closa, any objections?
No objections. Thank you.
All right.
Well, full disclosure, Greg, I had a 30-minute briefing with on this. I had all those questions too.
Same thing. That's good.
Yeah, we've done this before.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'd never heard relinquishment. That's a new one for me. Well, thank you for everybody for your time. Bert, thank you. And hearing no objections, the item is approved forthwith.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bert. Go Lakers. You're going to hear that from me a few times today. Everybody just be forewarned.
Can they just win already? Just kidding.
They will win already. Oh, my coffee creamer stained Laker tie. All right. In the interest of folks, we're going to actually we're going to continue item 5 today. And I want to just go ahead and do that because I know we have a protest on item 5, and given that we're on special meetings, I don't think that they've actually had adequate time to be prepared. So as a courtesy, I would like to continue to next Friday, so we'll continue item number 5 to Friday, October 16th. Okay, Dr. Campos, you got that?
Yes. Thank you, Mr. President.
Okay. Now let's go back to, and so anyone who's here for that item, you're free to stay or enjoy your afternoon. Not that staying with us wouldn't be an enjoyable afternoon. Item number 3, this is in CD8s and CD9. This is a budget increase and change order. Number 16, Sully Miller Contracting Company for the Main Street improvements, Martin Luther King Boulevard to Imperial Highway Complete Streets Project. Recommending the board authorize $942,538 in additional contingency and approve a revised construction budget of $10,483,938 for the Main Street improvements, Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard to Imperial Highway Complete Streets Project. And 2, authorize the city engineer to issue change order number 16 for the project to design and construct 36 additional ramps between 91st Street and Century Boulevard. Brian On is with us today. This item will be subject, if approved, to the mayor's cost containment process, as I believe Mr. Ahn is aware. And so with that, Brian, good afternoon. Please proceed.
Good afternoon. My name is Brian Ahn. I'm with Bureau of Engineering Complete Streets Program. For this report, we're seeking authority to increase $942,538 in the project contingency and authority to issue change order number 16 for construction of additional 36 ramps between 91st Street and Century Boulevard. Just to give you a quick background on the project, Main Street Complete Streets project is a 5.5 mile long and located between Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard and Century Boulevard. This project is consisting of reconstructing and repairing damaged street pavements, sidewalk, curb ramps, and gutters. This project also includes traffic safety improvements. Regarding change order number 16, change order number 16 is to construct additional 36 ramps between 91st Street and Century Boulevard. The original contract document required a slurry seal coating for the pavement between 91st Street and Century Boulevard. However, after a recent Bureau of Street Services field assessment, it is now recommended to resurface that segment. Due to the scope change from the slurry seal coating to resurfacing and overlay of the pavement, the access ramp between 91st Street and Century Boulevard now need to be reconstructed to meet ADA requirements. Change order number 16 will compensate the contractor for design, survey, construction, and overhead costs required to design and build 36 curb ramps between 91st Street to Century Boulevard. The cost of the change order will be negotiated lump sum, not to exceed an amount of $942,538. Please let me know if there's any questions.
Thank you, Brian, and let's open it up for discussion. President Pro Tem Davis.
Yes. On this project, what's the timeline scheduled for this one?
So the original scope for the project is anticipated to be completed by end of November. So if we're adding this element, that we're going to be extending the project by another 4 to 5 months, 4 months.
Okay. And again, I apologize for you. I think you went in and out. The purpose for us expanding this project and added this is why in terms of transportation?
And the original scope assessment required a slurry seal coat because the original condition at the time of when the scope was developed, it was in a good, fair condition. Mm-hmm. At the time that when we are ready to do the work and when it got reassessed, mm-hmm. The pavement got deteriorated and now it's requiring to be resurfaced.
Got it. Thank you for that. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, President Pro Tem Davis. Vice President Garcia.
Thank you, President Good. I am okay with this item. I was briefed as well, and I asked like 100 questions.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Villegas.
Thank you. So it's for handicap reasons that we are increasing almost by $1 million.
Yes, when the original scope, when it was a slurry seal coat, it does not require upgrading the access ramp, ADA ramps. But when we improve the scope to resurfacing element, now it's required by ADA to upgrade it, reconstruct the curb access ramp between those elements, between those layers.
Was that a oversight, or how is it that when you're doing the scope, this wasn't caught? Just if you could provide a little bit of more background for me.
My understanding is that at the time, the original scope development was back in 2018. And what the pavement was looked at and assessed, at that time, the pavement was in a fair condition and it required only a slurry coal seating to seal up the cracks and improve the quality of the pavement. When we're ready to go back and to perform the work, and then the assessment was performed by Bureau of Street Services, the pavement condition has deteriorated that it requires more than the slurry seal coating. It required a resurfacing rather than the slurry seal coat that was previously assessed before.
So, Commissioner, under the ADA, maintenance work, which would be the slurry seal, does not trigger the requirement of the ADA to review the curb ramps. However, alteration work does. And so when the character of the work changed from the slurry seal to the sort of resurfacing, it actually changed the nature of the work from maintenance to alteration, which is why the curb ramps. So at the time the project was first evaluated, there was nothing missed. It was just the work was considered maintenance. Now the work is considered alteration, and so that simply triggered a requirement that did not apply in the first instance.
Thank you, that makes sense. I just wanted a little bit more context for that. It wasn't clear to me, so I appreciate it.
I apologize.
And so this, oh, that's okay. Is the lump sum, you said this was negotiated?
It's in the process of being reviewed. So it's until we get authority, we cannot finalize the change order. So it's in the discussions, but the lump sum shall not exceed the amount of $942,000.
Okay, and who will do the work?
So
the same.
The general contractor will do the reconstruction and upgrading of the curb access.
Okay, all right. I appreciate it. Thank you. No more questions.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Villegas. Commissioner Clozo.
I don't have any questions. You briefed me on this. Thank you.
Thank you. And I also don't thank you for the briefing, Brian, and your team. And so, as we discussed, this will be subject to the mayor's approval and the cost containment process. Do I have a motion to move forward?
So move.
Thank you, President Pro Tem Davis. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Commissioner Colosa. Any objections, Vice President Garcia?
No objections.
Great, thank you. Any objections, Commissioner Villegas?
None. Thank you.
All right, hearing no objections, the item as amended, subject to the mayor's approval under the cost containment process, is approved forthwith. Thank you so much. Brian, have a great weekend, okay?
Thank you.
All right, that brings us to item number 4. This is in CD 11. This is construction services contract, Cisco, task order solicitation, capital improvement project, 8173, Hyperion Treatment Water Reclamation Plant, biosolids truck loading facility fan and ducting installation. Recommending the board authorize the city engineer to use the Cisco and to issue task work orders to the contractor for an amount not to exceed $866,000 for the Hyperion Water Reclamation Plant, biosolids truck loading facility fan and ducting installation project. This is an item, if approved, that will not increase the contract ceiling, and so it is actually won't be subject to the mayor's cost containment approval process. So Ethan Wong is with us today. Hi, Ethan, to describe the project or the contract request, and it's good to see you, Ethan. Sorry.
You too. No problem. No problem.
Everyone up here calls me by the wrong name anyway, so I get a pass here and there, right?
Appreciate it. And I really love your tie, President.
Thank
Go
you.
Lakers.
Big day, big day.
Yeah, definitely. So good afternoon, everyone. This is Ethan Wong with Bureau of Engineering, Environmental Engineering Division. So just a correction on the title of the item. It says task order solicitations. For the Cisco contracts, we actually issue task work orders. So there needs to be a correction there. So this project is at our truck loading facility where biosolids are loaded onto trucks and transported off-site to a farm up north. So this facility obviously creates foul air, and so there's a network of foul air fans, ducting, dampers, and chemical scrubbers that scrubs the foul air and removes hydrogen sulfide from the air. So this facility is actually subject to the South Coast Air Quality Management District, and we have a permit to operate from them. So these fans are critically important to the plant's operations. The fans in question were originally installed in 2017 on one of our projects. In operation, high vibration was noticed, and vibration can cause premature wear and tear on mechanical equipment and has a high potential for failure. So obviously, since these fans are important for keeping up to our AQMD permit, they're critically important to the facility, and currently they are, the speed is turned down so that the vibration is a lot less. We found that because of turbulence in the ducts, the way the facility was built in 2017, and then using some of the older ducts created turbulent air, and this creates the vibration of the fans. So this project will basically replace those fans. The original fans were backward incline fans. The new fans will be radial tipped, which will better handle the turbulent air in the ducts, and we're also replacing the ducts to reduce some of the turbulence. So this is the whole reason we need to do this, and we need to do it as Cisco because this is a critical part of the infrastructure, and we need to do it as quickly as possible. And like you said, President Good, the Cisco contracts are not subject to the mayor's cost containment because we're not exceeding the cost ceiling that was established at time of award. So I'd be happy to answer any questions regarding this project at this time.
Thank you, Ethan. Let's start off with Vice President Garcia. Any questions?
No questions, thank you.
Okay, thank you. President Pro Tem Davis.
None on this item for me.
Thank you. Commissioner Closa.
No questions for me, thank you.
Okay. Commissioner Villegas.
No questions. I really appreciate Ethan's presentation. You took a very complicated subject matter and made it very understandable.
Yeah. As in, like, nobody wants this thing not to work. How about that?
Right.
So let's get it taken care of. I feel like that could be the headline of this item. So do I have a motion to move this forward?
I'll move.
Thank you, Vice President Garcia, seconded by President Pro Tem Davis. Any objections, Commissioner Villegas?
No objections, thank you.
Any objections, Commissioner Closa?
No objections.
Okay, so the item actually, we should do that. I need a motion to move the item forward with the amendment, or Dr. Campos, tell me if it requires an amendment. Does it or no?
It does not.
Okay, so we don't have task work order versus task order solicitation. Does it need to be amended on the record?
Yeah, we will make that correction on the title of the agenda.
Okay.
And on the actual report, but the recommendation itself stands as is, and that's the action that the board would be taking on.
Okay, great. And so since not subject to the cost containment process, we will keep Vice President Garcia's motion to move this forward, seconded by President Pro Tem Davis. No objection from Commissioner Closa or Commissioner Villegas. No objections from me. And so the item is approved forthwith. Thank you, Ethan.
Thank you, President Good. Thank you, everyone.
Go Lakers.
Go Lakers. Go Dodgers as well.
Yes.
Okay.
See ya. Thank you. All right. Thank you, colleagues. Let's move on now to item number 6. This is in Council District 11. This is a contract acceptance, Maxella Avenue at Lincoln Boulevard sidewalk improvement. To accept this contract, George Espindola is with us. Good afternoon, George.
Good afternoon. It's George Espindola with the Bureau of Contract Administration. The Maxwell Avenue at Lincoln Boulevard sidewalk improvement project was executed by your board on January 26, 2018 to PALP Incorporated, DBA XL Paving Company in the amount of $199,113 with a contingency of $39,887. This project consisted of street improvements at the northern side of Maxella Avenue between Lincoln Boulevard and Delray Avenue to mitigate flooding conditions and to provide safe pedestrian access route in Council District 11. 4 change orders were issued, decreasing the contract amount by $12,769 with 69 cents, bringing the total cost of the project to $186,343 with 31 cents. Final corrections were completed on September 18, 2018. Funding was through Fund 59C, Measure M. BCA's Office of Contract Compliance has found that this contractor has met all the equal employment opportunities and labor compliance requirements of the contract. There are no unresolved property complaints or dispute funds.
All right, thank you, George. Do I have any comments, colleagues? Vice President Garcia?
I don't have any questions or comments. Thank you, President Good.
Okay, thank you. President Pro Tem Davis?
Yes, in terms of the scope and the timing of the project, did you say that the project has already been done, or?
Oh, yes, yes. Yes.
Okay.
It has been completed.
Okay, all right.
Okay. Commissioner Villegas?
I have no questions.
Okay. Then Commissioner Closa?
No questions, thank you.
All right. Any motion to, do I have a motion to move this forward?
So move.
Thank you, President Pro Tem Davis. Do I have a second?
Okay.
Thank you, Commissioner Closa. Any objections, Commissioner Villegas or Vice President Garcia?
None.
No, none.
Great. Thank you. Hearing no objections, the item is approved forthwith. Thank you, George. You stay up. We now have in CD 14 a contract acceptance for also a sidewalk repair program, work package number 15, recommending the board accept this contract. Go ahead, George.
Yes, thank you. Sidewalk repair program, work package number 15 was entered into agreement with the City of Los Angeles and Valle Grande Construction on May 9, 2019 in the amount of $79,924 with 71 cents. With a not to exceed amount of $99,999. Notice to proceed was issued on July 1st, 2019. This project provided for removal and replacement of damaged sidewalks, curb and gutter, curb ramps, tree prunings, and replacement of street lighting and traffic signal pole boxes in Council District 14. 3 change orders were issued, decreasing the contract amount by $3,801 with 99 cents. The total cost of this project is $76,122 with 72 cents. Final corrections were completed on March 13, 2020. Funding was through Fund 100-50. BCA's Office of Contract Compliance has found that this contract has met all the equal employment opportunities and labor compliance requirements of contract, and there are no unresolved property complaints or disputed funds in this connection to this project.
Thank you, George. Any questions, Commissioner Villegas?
None. Thank you.
Any questions, Commissioner Closa?
No questions, thank you.
Thank you. President Pro Tem Davis?
Okay, the district, this is the 14th district, is that correct?
That's correct.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Any questions, Vice President Garcia?
No questions, thank you.
All right. I will motion to move this forward. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, President Pro Tem Davis. Any concerns or objections? Commissioner Villegas?
None, thank you.
Vice President Garcia?
No concerns, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Colosso?
None, thank you.
All right, hearing no objections, the item is approved forthwith. Thank you again, George. Now, George stays with us for an item in CD7. This is a contract acceptance also for Tarabella Street at Benton Avenue Improvement Project. Recommending the board accept this contract. George, go ahead.
Yes, thank you again. Arabella Street at Clinton Avenue Improvement Project was awarded to Clark Contracting on June 28, 2019 in the amount of $735,787.50 with a not to exceed amount of $791,200.30. On May 22nd, your board adopted Bureau of Engineering Report Number 1, increasing the contingency funding for this project by $90,000, giving a revised budget amount of $881,200.30. Notice to proceed was issued on August 5th, 2019. This project reconstructed the thoroughfare adjacent to Fenton Avenue Charter School, located at Fenton Avenue and Tarabella Street in Council District 7. 6 change orders were issued, totaling $143,053.14, increasing the total cost of this project to $840.64. Final corrections were completed on February 26, 2020. Funding was through Fund Number 682 Engineering Special Service Fund. BCA's Office of Contract Compliance has found that this contractor has met all the equal employment opportunities and labor compliance requirement of the contract. There are no unresolved property complaints or disputed funds in connection to this project.
Thank you, George. Any comments or questions? Commissioner Villegas?
I have none, thank you.
All right, Commissioner Colosso?
None, thank you.
Okay, Vice President Garcia?
I have none either. Thank you.
Thank you. President Pro Tem Davis?
None for me either.
All right. Do I have a motion to move this forward?
I'll move.
Second.
Second. Motion by Vice President Garcia, seconded by President Pro Tem Davis. Any objections, Commissioner Villegas?
None.
Thank you. Any objections, Commissioner Colosso?
None.
All right. Hearing no objections, the item is approved forthwith and adopted forthwith. Thank you very much, George.
Thank you.
Have a good day and a good weekend.
You too. Thank you.
Go Lakers.
Absolutely.
All right. Now, our final item for today is an oral report from Michael Cox from Streets LA. Status update on major upcoming street improvement projects. Hi, Mr. Cox.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I'll start off with this information is being provided to keep the public informed on the upcoming resurfacing projects and to minimize the impact on the community as well as delays to the commuters. Streets LA would like to provide you with an update on all major upcoming street improvement projects. At this time, there are no major street projects scheduled in the Metro or Valley resurfacing region for the next week. However, we have an update on our 2021 pavement preservation program. In the Metro region, during the week of October 4th through October 10th, 2020, the Metro region is completing 12 projects for a total of 7.26 lane miles. During the week of October 11th through October 17th, the Metro region has scheduled 6 projects for a total of 4.24 lane miles. The Valley resurfacing region, during the week of October 4th through October 10th, 2020, the Valley region is completing 5 projects for a total of 4.41 lane miles. During the week of October 11th through October 17th, 2020, the Valley region has scheduled 13 projects for a total of 5.19 lane miles. And I will go ahead and close with Go Lakers.
All right.
Good, Michael. Now, it wouldn't help you even if there was a vote on your item, but it might. All right, colleagues, any questions for Mr. Cox?
No, thank you.
None.
No questions. Thank you for your thorough report, Mr. Cox.
You're more than welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much for the report, Mr. Cox. And then let's go. Go Lakers, and we appreciate it. All right, Dr. Campos, have we cleared the decks?
Yes, you have.
Fabulous, thank you. So, all right, colleagues, thank you all very much. This meeting is adjourned. We will reconvene at 2:31 in the p.m. For our management meeting.
Okay.
All right, thank you
All
all.
right. Sounds good.
So what I do is I stop.